All right, qualifying is over. It's time to go racing. Chris Wold and Michael Peters on the front row. Jim Cook and Sean Crooks on the second row. Patrick Coluccio and Jim Johnson on the third row. Matt Stewart, Kevin Coleman on the fourth row. Brian Burkhart and Brandon McLaughlin rounding out the top 10. Derek Turner and Jonathan Orapollo 11th and 12th. 13th is Tom Rule. Doug McLaughlin is 14th. Edmund Jones 15th. Jason Holder 16th. Drew Warren is 17th. Brian Mansfield 18th. Michael Whiting 19th. And Spencer Brown is 20th. Eddie Baker starts 21st. DJ The Kenner starts 22nd. The Iceman Kenner. DJ the Iceman Kenner starts 22nd. 23rd is Jason Wiley. Graham Nucky is 24th. 25th is Zach Bache. Michael Crocker's 26th. Justin Glover 27th. Chris Stroup is 28th. Dakota Wilson rounding out the field in 29th. And this is the 5th week of the season, but this race could flip-flop points like crazy. And another interesting thing this week is the first time we have not had at least a couple, like the two Jims on the same row or Michaels on the same row in after qualifying. And points leader DJ the Iceman Kenner starting way back in 22nd. You gotta wonder what he is thinking at this point. 50 laps. They are running a lower fuel load as always, so fully expect to see some green flag pit stops. Justin Glover dropping in saying game time, have fun, and Aaron's guessing green flag all the way. Dakota Wilson's wheel and pedal has gone to crap, so he is going to be driving like a pissed off teenager. All right, Talladega, 2.66 miles of high banked fury. 33-degree banking in turn 1 and 2, 32.4 degrees in turn 3, and 32.5 degrees in turn 4. 16.5 degrees in the tri-oval, 5 degrees on the other two parts of the front stretch, 3 degrees of banking down the back straightaway, high speed, nose to tail, side by side, and anarchy. Paris cheering on Chris Stroop tonight. Chris starting tail end of the field with Dakota Wilson might be the wisest place to be, at least at the outset here. Don't forget, Talladega has the weird. You see there on screen where that red line is on the track map. That is the start-finish line. It is between the tri-oval and turns 1. It is not dead center on the front straightaway. That will come into play here. Pace car starts to drive off. They do have to wait on the green flag for the start and for the restarts. It takes about a lap and a half to get these things up to full speed with those restrictor plates on. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air at Talladega. And don't be surprised if we see some really early, holy cow, somebody just went straight up the middle at the back of the pack. Looks like Chris Stroop jumped in, looked like a couple of cars in front of him might have gotten a little bit of a slow start, and he managed to slide through a couple spots. That outside line faster on the straightaways, that inside line faster through the corners. But the more they work that outside line, the faster it will get. That could come into play before the night is out. Nobody getting 3 wide yet, and there is a 4-car pack holding off the back of the main pack. They are playing it safe back there. That is Michael Crocker, Justin Glover, Jason Wiley, Dakota Wilson, and Chris Stroop all sitting in the back of the field playing it safe, at least for the moment, as up front we're starting to get some 3 wide action. As Jonathan Oropalo up to the high side, way up top, trying to get around the Iceman, who has come up 15 spots already. DJ, the Iceman Kenner, who started 22nd, he did not play it safe. He is up into 6th now. And Spencer Brown, who started 20th, now up to 3rd. And they're 3 wide at the front of the pack. They are wasting no time. 50-lap race. They're racing like it's the last. I think those guys hanging off the pack have the have the wise move here, and I think Paris is right. I feel a crash coming very soon myself. I predicted turn by the second turn. They've made it this far. They're doing really well, all things considering. And the Australian Graham Nucky on the bottom. Started in 24th, now up to 7th. We've got several cars in the top 10 now that have picked up a ton of positions, as we've got 2 groups breaking off of the back of the pack. Currently, DJ Kenner in 7th. Spencer Brown started 20th, is in 8th. Graham Nucky started in 24th, is up to 10th. And Dakota Wilson started dead last on the field in 29th, is now up to 9th. Right behind him, Michael Crocker's up there too. He started in 26th, up to 12th. You can see a couple of different strategies playing out already here, and it's already 3 wide up front. Dakota Wilson helping out up on the high side with Brandon McLaughlin. And they've got more help coming behind. Brandon McLaughlin drops back down into that second groove. Now there's 3 cars stuck up on the high side. Looks like Dakota's going to slide back into that second row. They're going to settle down a little bit back behind. Dakota's still up 15 spots. He is having a heck of a run. Meanwhile, up front, Kevin Coleman is in the lead. Back toward the back, Brian Mansfield is leading a 3-car pack around here. Brian Mansfield, Michael Whiting, Chris Stroop. Right in front of them, Tom Rule, Derek Turner, Brian Burkhart, all right there together as well. Couple of groups staying just within drafting distance, but far enough back to have a little bit more time to react when the big one happens. With their fuel load, they can go roughly 15 to, I think, closer to 20. It'll be basically a 2-stop race. So these guys will have to stop at least 2 times. Figure around lap 20, we should start seeing green flag stops, maybe some a little bit sooner. They will have to come to pit road in group. Oh, he's got a car in the wall. It's Zach Bache. He is in the wall. No caution yet, but he was hard into the wall, and he is going to have to go get repairs, manage to save that car and keep it up high, but he is going to need a caution to come out very soon if he's going to get back into contention. But a great save by him, keeping that car out of trouble. Michael Peters and Kevin Coleman seem to be alternating that lead spot. One of them will get a run on the high side, like you see Coleman doing here. I'm sorry, like you see, Coleman getting the run on the high side. Once he gets clear, he drops down to the bottom, and then they switch. But these 2 guys have shared every lap. Zach Bache now to pit road. However, when a caution comes out, he will have the opportunity to get waved around the field, get back to the lead lap. Dakota Wilson had been on a charge early, was up as far as 7th. He is now back in 15th, just kind of holding his position at the moment. A lot of those guys that rushed to the front kind of starting to settle in, like Graham Nucky, who has settled in 12th. And Eddie Baker has snuck his way up. There comes Zach Bache up off of pit road. Eddie Baker has snuck his way up into the top 10 now after starting 21st. And the Iceman, the points leader, DJ Kenner, down there on the bottom in the 32 car, is up to 7th. And Spencer Brown, what a run, up to 6th after starting 20th. And that outside line starting to form again. They think better of it going into turn 3, staying too wide at least for the moment. And we've got a car down on the apron. Look like they just might have lost some grip as they try and go 4 wide through the tri-oval. No, they're going to stay 3 wide. That's definitely more sane. And a lot of moving around. You see these trucks are not planted at all. You're riding along in points leader DJ Kenner's car. This is what it looks like with the air and the grip. These trucks just constantly move around. They're never fully seated. They're never fully planted. Especially as you go off into the corner, you see Jim Johnson there, gets a little bit of the apron, unsettles the truck even more. They're 2 inches off, but they have to move around a little bit intentionally just to watch that temperature to make sure they don't blow the engine. If they don't get the nose into clean air from time to time, these engines will blow up, and it looked like DJ might have gotten a little bump draft there on the front straightaway as his truck got very unsettled. Michael Crocker was right behind him. Michael might have been giving him a little bit of a push there. Now we are 3 wide again as Graham Nucky, Dakota Wilson, trying to see who else is in that line. Jonathan Orapollo. And Spencer Brown making a 3rd line up high, trying to get that groove working in very early in the race here. Still 3 wide down the front straightaway. Back behind him, mostly single file as some of these guys are just trying to play it safe a little further back, but this 3 wide battle back here. And those guys in the middle right now, awfully lonely. But they seem to have some momentum, getting a lot of help out of the side draft there. Managing to hold position on that 3rd line. Oh, we almost had a couple of them get into the wall. Michael Peters, Chris Wold just keep swapping that lead position. Looks like they have settled down, at least for the moment. Edmund Jones, Jason Holder, both on pit road at the moment. Zach Bache a lap down. Chris Stroop, Sean Crooks, Brian Burkhart, and I believe Matt Stewart. 4-car pack back here playing it safe for the moment. Meanwhile, the lead group almost completely single file except for a few cars that slipped out. Dakota Wilson now dropping in line. And green flag pit stops are underway. Michael, here we go. The first big round of green flag pit stops. Everybody gets checked up. Only a couple cars stay out on track. Kevin Coleman and Eddie Baker. And the entire field comes to pit road on lap 13. Those are the two loneliest drivers right now. Should see them come to pit road as some of these other drivers will be coming back out here momentarily. This will be the most exciting part of this. Michael Scruggs cheering on Bash Brothers, Matt Stewart. Kevin Coleman is really slow on the apron. I do not know what's happening there. Eddie Baker's coming to pit road, but he's going to be alone as Brian Mansfield comes flying by. Kevin Coleman just now getting to pit road. He might be blown up. Michael Peters, Chris Wold, they're currently being scored in third and fourth. They've got a bigger pack coming from behind, though. And that has Jim Cook and the Iceman in it, DJ Kenner, as they come around. So they'll be able to catch back up to the two lead cars with that as long as they can stay single file. Several packs now forming out on track as some drivers taking 2 tires, some drivers taking 4 tires, some drivers only taking fuel. Looks like pit stops have completely cycled through, so now Michael Peters in the lead and all alone. He's going to have company here in a minute. Caution is out. Brandon McLaughlin just gets turned and goes airborne. Jonathan Oropalo also involved in that. Let's go back a little further and see what happened. Oh, it looked like Brandon just caught a bit of the apron, bounced back up, or Apollo had a run and nowhere to go. Those two drivers, or Apollo is on pit road. I'm sure Brandon will be momentarily as well. And now we'll see if the leaders, now that we're back to going to have a single pack, and it looks like Zach Bache is going to be back on the lead lap. Edmund Jones and Kevin Cole. It looks like by virtue of where they were on the track when the caution came out, they will be able to maintain the lead lap. So some great pit strategy and recovery to get back to the lead. Jonathan Oropalo, Brandon McLaughlin, Eddie Baker currently on pit road. And now it looks like everybody is going to come down pit road again. Top off on fuel while they have the opportunity here. Dakota Wilson does not. Dakota stays out. Hey Dakota, this is Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like the loneliest man in the world right now?
Nah, I just stayed out to lead that lap and get a bonus point, trying to get all I can out of this.
Well, you had one heck of a run to the front in the first 5 laps. Got up there, stayed in the top 10. You going to be able to get back up there, I'm assuming?
Oh, yeah. I've cooled down a little bit from my computer problem, so maybe we'll play a little bit more level-headed now.
All right, man. Well, good luck working your way back up to the front, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, sounds like Dakota Wilson is going to drop to pit road this time and give the lead to Drew Warren. And it looks like we've got several different pit strategies this time. Drew Warren actually stayed out as well. Jim Cook was the first car to go to pit road. Based on his pit stop times, he got fuel only. Michael Peters looks like he was the first car to take 4 tires. Then Spencer Brown, who is now back in 14th. Jim Johnson, Tom Rule, Graham Nucky, Justin Glover, Michael Whiting, Brandon McLaughlin, Zach Bache, all of them, the back half of the field went ahead and took 4 tires on the caution. Caution is the best time to get those tires. They will not have to worry about losing a lap here. And it looks like Dakota is going to come to pit road. Will Drew Warren come to pit road this time with him? And Brian Mansfield may be coming to pit road again. Drew Warren stays out, and DJ the Iceman Kenner dropped to pit road as well. Brian Mansfield on pit road. Some of these guys are going to have very quick pit stops. They are just going to hit top off on fuel. Looks like DJ literally just got a splash and dash. All he needed, 1 lap under caution. He didn't lose too much fuel there as they stack back up for the restart. Drew Warren on the inside, Jim Cook on the outside. Drew Warren first, Jim Cook second, Michael Crocker now up to third, Chris Wold back to fourth, Jason Wiley fifth. Chris Stroop has, after hanging out and playing it safe the first part of the race, now up into sixth with Jason Wiley in fifth. Michael Peters is in seventh, Derek Turner is in eighth, Matt Stewart ninth, and Spencer Brown 10th. Coluccio in 11th, Jim Johnson 12th, Tom Rule is 13th, Doug McLaughlin 14th, Graham Nucky is 15th. Then it's Jason Holder, Michael Whiting, Justin Glover, Brandon McLaughlin, and Sean Crooks being 20th. Edmund Jones, Zach Bache, Kevin Coleman, Brian Burkhart, Jonathan Orapollo, the Iceman Kenner, and Dakota Wilson, Brian Mansfield rounding out the field. Pace car will drop off this time. First time they've all been back together since the start. A lot of guys that played it patient early in the race. There was the group that dropped off the back. They are now all towards the front, and we'll see if they make something happen again here. Plus the few cars that we had go in for a splash, an extra splash of gas there at the end of the pit cycle. Trying to extend that just as far as they can. But remember, if it is a green flag stop, they have to pit in a group or they will lose a bunch of time. All right, pace car is in. They will wait for the green flag at the far end of the tri-oval. Green flag back in the air, and Drew Warren is away. Jim Cook up on the high side. Looks like Chris Wold and Chris Stroop had some problems there. There's a car in the middle, losing a little bit of ground. Jim Johnson drops right down in front of Drew Warren. Drew Warren is not having it. He was almost pushing Jim back up the track. Meanwhile, a little bit of movement on the third line as we got some cars starting to make something happen up top. Big wreck back behind. Caution is out. Let's rewind. rewind it a little bit here. That might be the big one, ladies and gentlemen, as looks like Tom Rule just came up and didn't know Graham Nucky was there, and everybody back behind him getting caught up in that mess. Take another look at it here. Graham had so much of a run. Graham might have actually clipped the left rear corner or the right rear corner of Tom Rule there as Tom was trying to come up. They tried to occupy the same space, and a lot of cars caught up in that incident. I am sure we are about to see a lot of cars back on pit road. Jason Holder was the first truck to pit road. And we might see the entire field pit. Some of these guys may just need to top off on fuel here. Looks like Drew Warren is looking to pit road. We'll see if Jim Cook goes as well. Yes, indeed. The leaders all coming to pit road. The entire field looks like it's going to come to pit road. And several cars. No, we've got Patrick Coluccio staying out. Jim Johnson stays out. Justin Glover staying out. And let's see if we can get a word with Coluccio here. Hey, Patrick, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug, what's up, man?
Hey, so you, Jim, and Justin, and DJ apparently made the call to stay out here. Are you going to just lead a lap and get some points, or are you staying out, staying out?
I'm staying out. I know how to save fuel under caution, so that's pretty key when you're on a track this big. So just hopefully work with those three other guys and see what happens.
A lot of chaos further back in the field. Was there a lot of angry voices on the radio a moment ago?
No, I think it was more of a what happened, and then people trying to tell each other what happened there. It's we all understand it's pack racing, so you just kind of got to expect those things, which most of us do. So
yeah, and was anybody yelling anarchy during that moment?
Actually, surprisingly, no. It was more like, oh, caution, wrecking big.
Well, definitely was a big one. A lot of cars collected, and you were not in it. That's got to make you happy.
Thank God I was behind me. How many cars were in that?
They were actually physically hurt by it, at least 6, but a lot of cars went wide to avoid chaos. So
okay. It wasn't the big one yet.
It was pretty big. There was at least 8 or 10 cars that had to get evasive. Some that were sideways but kept it off the wall type thing. But it was a little bit crazy back there.
Oh, good. Well, I'm happy I wasn't involved with it then.
All right, man. Well, you're going to restart in the lead, buddy. Good luck.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Patrick Coluccio, definitely happy. And Craig Osborne cheering on Dakota. And let's see, where did Dakota look like he managed to avoid the chaos that time? Barely. He got way low on the back straightaway, currently in 21st. But as we saw at the start of the race, give him about 3 laps, he'll be up in the top 5. Looks like Iceman comes to pit road again on the last possible moment, so he is just coming down to get a splash of gas. No tires going on that truck, just a quick splash of gas, and then he will be down and away. And it might be a strategy move as well, puts him back at the back of the pack for the restart. Justin Glover up in 3rd place in that 25 Marine Corps paint scheme. Definitely having one of his best runs here. Currently started in 27th, now up into 3rd. Chris Stroop, who started back in 28th, is now in 5th. Michael Crocker, who started back in 26th, has been in the top 10 since about lap 2. And Jason Wiley, the first time we've really talked about him tonight, started in 23rd, now up into the top 10. Another one we'll have to watch closely as the night goes on. Several different pit strategies going on here. Looks like Kevin Coleman was the other car that pitted on the last lap that they could, along with DJ Kenner. It'll be interesting to see how much Jim Johnson and Patrick Coluccio cooperate there. We saw Drew Warren, when Jim Johnson tried to come down and get to the inside line on that last restart. Drew Warren, oh, we've got a wreck under caution. What in the world just happened? I have no idea, but the front 3 cars were impacted. It looked like the 4th place car just tried to go. Now Patrick Coluccio is on pit road, and it looks like they have extended the caution. Let's try and take another look at that, as it looked like Jim Cook, Patrick Coluccio, and several others involved. Or Jim Johnson, excuse me. Looked like whoever that 3rd place car, or 4th place car was, excuse me, just stuck his nose right in the middle there. Not an advisable move. So the caution is delayed. We saw Jim Johnson, Eddie Baker, Kevin Coleman, Patrick Coluccio all on pit road, all of them getting damaged there at the start of the race, or the right before the green was supposed to drop. Excuse me. Brain stopped for a moment there. And I was thinking about pulling somebody in, but probably not anybody that was involved in that incident. Since we have a moment. Oh, it looks like they are going to stack back up and go green this time. We'll hold off on talking to somebody then. I would imagine there are some very warm and loving discussions going on right now in the radio channels. But Jim Cook and Justin Glover, the first truck race, I believe that's the first time he has led this season. So great to see Justin up there. And if he wins, just know that it's because of the guy that set up his rig. Let's go with that. Kevin Martin, I have to agree with you on that, buddy. I have to agree with you that they are probably not happy at all. Pace car is in. Long run down the front straightaway until the green comes out. Green flag is in the air. And already got a couple of trucks looking a little dicey. And we've got a wreck into turn 1. There's one car on its roof. Several cars involved. Caution is back out. Let's see if we can determine what happened there. As the wreck was happening right in front of Spencer Brown. Trying to see exactly where. as they went off in the turn, and I cannot tell who that is on the roof, but Doug McLaughlin gets caught, and they both end up on their lids, and several cars involved in that incident. Matt Stewart had to immediately go to pit road. Brandon McLaughlin gets caught again. I think that's like the third time that Brandon has been caught up. That is Matt Stewart that ends up on his lid. Let's see what happened to him. 3 wide into turn 1. Him and Michael Whiting just get together just enough at the right spot for him to end up on his lid. And then you have chaos. Now the question is, Justin Glover's about to pick up the pace car here in just a moment. Jim Cook back there in second. How many come to pit road as they are approaching the halfway point? And looking to see. And it looks like a lot of the field is coming to pit road this time. You know what? Let's see if we can talk to Mr. Burkhart. Hey, Brian, this is Doug. You got me?
Yeah, Doug, I got you.
Hey, buddy. Interesting turn of events the last 5 laps or so.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I tried to just been playing it cool, and it's working out so far.
It definitely is. One question Kevin Martin and I both had, well, we were curious, is there any insight on what happened right before the green went as you guys came out of turn 4?
The insight that I had, I think that somebody thought they were at Daytona and didn't realize that the start-finish line was so far down, super stretched. That's my assumption. So, because that was way early. That was like an Indy 500 start.
It definitely was. Well, you've hung out in the top 10 and really in the top 5 most of this race. Are you going to be able to stay up there and get to the lead here shortly?
Well, I'm hoping. I had one little iRacing mishap and clicked off a fast repair when I didn't really need to in that backstretch little melee. But we'll keep it going here. See what I can do.
All right, man. Well, restarting third, definitely the safest place to be right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only safe place to be is in the grandstands.
All right, good luck, buddy. Brian Burkhart laying it out. Safest place is in the grandstands tonight. And John Lucido cheer. Happy birthday, John, by the way, buddy. Happy birthday, man. And Jim, he's saying Jim Cook for the win. Jim currently running in 5th place. And I think we're about to see a few cars pull the same trick we've seen numerous times. Let's see if the Iceman comes to pit road again this time to top off on fuel. No, he stays out. Kevin Coleman does come down pit road. Matt Stewart still on pit road. And Michael Peters currently in the lead. Edmund Jones second, Burkhart is third, Mansfield is fourth, Jim Cook is fifth, Brandon McLaughlin sixth, DJ the Iceman Kenner is seventh, Justin Glover eighth, Derek Turner ninth, Jason Holder in 10th, and then you got Coluccio in 11th with Jonathan Orapollo in 12th. Chris Stroop 13th, Jason Wiley 14th, Michael Crocker is 15th, Drew Warren is 16th. And it looks like they're still sorting out a little bit. 1 or 2 of those positions might change as we've got cars coming up off pit road. Tony, you are correct. Dakota Wilson's mullet is not aerodynamic. However, we did determine not too long ago, Skylar Massey informed us, the mullet gives you 7 additional horsepower. And on a restrictor plate track, that could be the difference between winning and finishing last, that 7 additional horsepower. So there is that. But we celebrate as best we can, right, John? Everybody stacked up side by side, the tail end of the field, single file. And Chris Wold is currently off track. His first race here with the Outlaws, and he is currently off track. Not sure if he's going to make it back out. Pace car is in, and hopefully they remember it's not Daytona this time, and they got to go all the way down the super stretch, as Burkhart mentioned. Green flag is back in the air. Edmund Jones, Michael Peters on the front row, and Edmund's got a good run on the high side. Looked like he got the better start, and the Bryans are in the second row. Mansfield on the outside, Burkhart on the inside. Everybody's being a lot more patient on this restart than what we have seen. I spoke too soon. Starting to see a couple of cars trying 3 and 4 wide back there. Yeah, I spoke way too soon on the whole patience comment. And Dakota Wilson, we've seen him make that third line work like crazy tonight. He's been picking them off pretty quickly up there. Got around one car up on the high side, and now he's going to hop up there on the outside of Drew Warren. And he's got the 95 of Spencer Brown up there to work with. And Graham Nucky is coming up on that third row. That outside line's got some help coming. And caution. And, looks like Jim Johnson just got tapped and spun. He got Zach Bache again. Michael Whiting gets caught again. Tom Rule got caught. And several hard hits onto the outside wall. Some of these guys are going to be running way low on repairs. Dakota Wilson, who restarted way back around 20th, has charged back up into the top 10. He has definitely got that third line working tonight. Everybody going around, and Brandon McLaughlin currently being scored in the lead, looking for pit road. Several of the wrecked cars have already hit pit road. Brandon now catching the pace car. Edmund Jones in second. The Iceman up to third. Michael Peters fourth, and Jason Holder fifth. And most everybody, it'll be close on fuel. We'll see how many come to pit road. I would expect to see just about everybody next time by. Well, no, we're starting to see a bunch of them hit pit road this time. Jason Holder, Spencer Brown, Jonathan Orapollo, Derek Turner, Chris Stroop, Michael Crocker. Zach Beisch on pit road with heavy damage. And from a very clean first part of the race, things have gone a bit awry. Hey, Matt.
What's up, Doug?
Looks like you've had a bit of a rough night tonight, bud.
Yeah, what a mess. Yeah, I'm just sitting on pit road. I took a big tumble there, 5-10 laps ago. There was a lap car, or not a lap car, but just a car on the apron. I moved up, but to give him room, but no one else did. So one of them racing deals.
Yeah, it looked like you landed on your lid and did a little sliding on your roof as well.
Yeah, it was fun. But I think I'm just going to spot for Mansfield the rest of the way, so let's try and get him into victory lane.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you guys.
Thanks, Doug.
And you can hear Matt Stewart a bit heartbroken. Zach Beisch is done. His towing was 5 minutes, and his engine blew up. So already several cars, and this is what happens when we're at Talladega. Hey, Dakota, this is Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir.
So the question I have is, do you get an extra 15 horsepower when you go into that third lane? Because when you hop up there, man, you go flying by everybody.
That's just a lead foot, not a care in the world, buddy.
You're just not lifting.
I'm not lifting.
Man, you have came through this field twice now. Actually, I think 3 times now, from the back to the front. So now that you're restarting in 6th, can we expect to see you leading this thing in the next few laps?
We'll see. I like these guys up here, so if we get another caution, I might just go to the back and make it 4.
All right, man. Well, stack back up, and good luck, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so Graham Nucky is only, per Kevin Martin, Graham Nucky is only fast because he is running illegal kangaroo urine on his tires. That could be a problem. And yes, that is Dakota Wilson on a comeback, and you heard him say it. We get another caution, he may go to the back and do it again. He's definitely earning the nickname tonight. He's come from the back 3 times now. And hey, as always, I know we got a lot of fans out there tonight. Make sure you check out the sponsors. Major's Garage for all your setup needs. B-Make Designs do some great graphic designs. They do a lot of the prizes. And Combs Family Museums. You can find all of those groups on Facebook. Definitely check them out. And a huge thanks to Major's Garage for coming on board and sponsoring the Outlaws this week. So a huge shout out to them. And don't forget to hit the share and the follow and the interview Jim Johnson. If we get another caution, I will. I'm a little worried about how Jim's feeling right now. I imagine Jim is not in happy mode right now. I think he's been caught in so much stuff that he has probably already been caught in any incidents that happened during the Fast and Fun race halfway across the country at Auto Club. That's how rough his night has been. Pace car is in. Down the long front, straight away they go. Green flag is back in the air, and DJ Kenner is pushing Brandon McLaughlin across the line. Zach Page does get off pit road. Several laps down, but he is back in this fight. If he can keep that truck clean, he might still be able to come back to the lead lap. There is no telling what's going to happen here tonight. Out of turn 2, and I'm not going to say anything about him being patient this time, because as soon as I did last time, they just went 3 wide, and yep, there you go. Justin Glover, I believe, up on the 3rd line, coming down the back straightaway, and a couple of guys up front. Now we got Dakota Wilson on the leading that 3rd line. He drops back into the 2nd line, leaves Graham Nucky alone, jumps back up and grabs Graham. I really expect to see Dakota Wilson and Graham Nucky, this thing come down to those two up on the high side, working together. Brian Mansfield now leading that 2nd row, and he's got additional spotting help now. But Graham has the illegal kangaroo urine on the tires, so that, it all balances out. They're 3 wide through 1 and 2. They're not even up to full speed. They'll be at full speed by the time they got to the end of the back straightaway this time, but they're already trying everything they can to pick up positions. 18 laps to go. Everybody should need one more stop. 3 wide all the way, almost all the way through the field. Dakota Wilson said he just gets up on that high line, holds his foot down, and sends it. Brian Mansfield now no longer leading that 2nd row, starting to look like he might jump to the high side. Looks like he's got Edmund Jones right there with him. Graham and Dakota got some help coming. I believe that is Justin Glover back behind them. I think I saw Michael Crocker working that high line as well. And Burkhart currently leading this thing. See the 95 of Spencer Brown right there in the middle? That's what it's like to be running in the middle of this field from Michael Crocker, or from Spencer Brown's car, looking at Michael Crocker. They're in the middle, and as we mentioned earlier, oh! Wreck in turn 1. Caution is out. And that's what it looks like to be in one of those. And it looks like it might have gotten Dakota as Tom Rule gets caught again. Looked like him and Dakota got together into turn 1, and a whole lot of cars back behind them caught up. Let's rewind just a little bit and take a little bit closer look here. And it looks, Tom Rule came down and found Michael Crocker and just went up, and then chaos. And that is the big one, folks. Dakota Wilson caught, Jonathan Oropalo caught, Sean Crooks was caught in that. A lot of really fast trucks got caught up in that incident, including a car that did several barrel rolls off of the turn. Graham Nucky was caught. Looks like Justin Glover was caught. You know who wasn't caught that time? I don't believe Jim Cook was actually, or Jim Johnson was caught. And Dakota Wilson saying it is showtime now. He is going to come back to the front, and I might regret this, but let's see if we can get a hold of Jim Johnson. Mr. Johnson, this is Doug. You got me?
What's up?
you are definitely having a bit of a rough night. Are you going to be able to fight your way back up there?
No, because the motor just blew. I'm done.
Oh man, Kevin was definitely cheering for you, buddy.
Yeah, I got screwed. People just no patience in these races.
That is often the case.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, good luck. I'm sure we'll see you tomorrow night and see you back next week.
Hopefully.
Oh, you can hear the heartbreak from Jim Johnson. We had already heard it from Matt Stewart. Several good trucks out of the fight. And as they complete what will be their final pit stops, unless they have to come back down for repairs, you heard Jim Johnson say his engine is done. Matt Stewart is done. And Zach Beisch does appear getting one of his laps back here. So he might actually be back into contention with this after getting caught in a whole lot of stuff. Dakota Wilson is going to come from the back to the front for a third time, it looks like. Or fourth time, whatever it is. I've lost count. As they get settled back in after those pit stops, they're going to restart with about 12 laps to go. And let me see if Michael Peters is available. Hey, Mike, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Which Mike?
Talking to you, Mike Peters.
Yep.
Hey, man. You have been up at the front pretty much the whole night. Had a little bit of back and forth there early on, but been up front and had one of the strongest trucks out there. You going to be able to pull it off here tonight?
Well, we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to stick with this 18 truck. He looks like a decent drafting partner, and as long as I can get some people to work with, somebody will wind up front, and hopefully I can be one of the people up there with them, if not the person up front.
All right, well, a lot of chaos behind you, but your position has kept you out of trouble most of the night, so you're still in really good shape.
We'll see how it goes.
All right, man, good luck.
Thanks.
All right, newcomer Mike Peters. Garrett Wright saying, throw on some flirting with disaster and send it. And I'm half tempted to pull him back down just to tell him that, but they are stacking back up for the restart. And I'm going to remember that. Actually, I'm going to write that one down just for my own personal use. There we go. So I literally just wrote that down. I'm old school. I do everything on pen and paper, so. Yeah, Matt Stewart saying, yes, it has been a rough night, especially for a lot of our top contenders. DJ Kenner has managed to stay out of a lot of trouble. He's been caught once, but guys like Chris Stroop, he's been caught once or twice. Dakota Wilson got caught. Killenbeck not here. Brian Mansfield's been caught. Several of the top drivers have been caught. Guys like Matt Stewart being out before the end of the race comes as a shock. And we did say coming into tonight, halfway through the season, these guys, the points could definitely be a lot different. They're fortunate that they have 2 drop races during the 10-week season. So that'll save some of these guys that have had some issues here today, often not of their own making, but definitely been a lot of chaos. Still have 21 cars on the lead lap as we get ready to go green. Get buckled up, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Johnson, very frustrated. I am so sorry, buddy. That is a heartbreak. You were extremely fast. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. Here they go one final time. It'll be 12 to go at the line. And already we've got one coming up the middle in the back. Trying to get a look at who that is that has just come cutting through the field. That is Eddie Baker. We've seen Eddie be extremely strong in the cup cars and in the trucks. Here he comes just cutting his way through the field. And a big wreck. Caution is out. Dakota manages to get through it unscathed, but a lot of cars getting caught again. And it looks like trying to determine where that one started at, but several cars get caught. Brandon McLaughlin, Doug McLaughlin, Dakota Wilson. Michael Crocker was caught in that. They went off into turn. The front row, or the almost front row, the 0-0 and Jim Cook went into turn 3 side by side, or 3 wide with Crocker up on the high side. The 0-0 just couldn't hold the line and bounced up off of the apron and up into Jim Cook, and anarchy ensued. Brian Burkhart in the lead. Brian Mansfield caught a piece of that. He is still out there. Mike Peters managed to stay out of trouble that time, and he is still in contention. Drew Warren still in the battle as well. Patrick Coluccio is holding on to it. Justin Glover did not get caught, and Dakota Wilson looked like he might have driven through that. He has no damage to that. It looks like Edmund Jones was caught. Chris Stroop was caught. Kevin Coleman was caught. And, you know, we're going to talk to somebody who has been caught a couple of times. Let me see if I can get a hold of my buddy here. Hey, Justin, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Hey, buddy, what's up?
Hey, man, I've got to say, you have had one heck of a run tonight, led a couple of times, and been in contention so far.
You know what, man? I got to hand it to the OF 150 Semper Fi crew here, man. They got this truck dialed in, and it's on rails. Me and my boy Coluccio, we're going to drive to the front. You watch.
Oh, you know, speaking of that crew, I'm going to have to say your success is solely based on the guy that helped you set up your system.
You know, I owe everything to the big guy in the booth, buddy.
Man, you have had a heck of a run here tonight. You guys getting up on that high line a couple of times. You've carried a ton of momentum. Are you going to try that third line again to get to the front?
Well, see, the bottom line's been stalling out here lately. Every time I get stuck on the inside, I seem to get shuffled back, and then if you get too high, you get shuffled back. So it's Dega, baby. We're going to see what happens in the next, we got 9 laps. It's going to be fun.
All right, man. Good luck. Keep the nose clean.
Thanks, buddy. Good day. Thanks for everything you do, Dougie.
My pleasure, bud. All right, Justin Glover, always hyped up when he's on track. Oh, Jim, is Wednesday Dega again? I have it written down. I completely forgot. As they pace around, Burkhart in the lead. Everybody can go the distance on fuel. After that last stop, we had several cars on pit road this time, though. Everybody making sure they are repaired, making sure they are in good shape. You heard Justin Glover say him and Coluccio are going to come to the front. They are in 5th and 6th right now. DJ, the Iceman, the points leader coming into the night, currently running 8th and has managed to make his way to the front repeatedly. as well as Dakota Wilson back there in 12th. He said he'd make his way to the front a third time last time. He did it, and now he's going to have to do it one more time to get up there. But don't count out Jim Cook, Edmund Jones, Sean Crooks, Jason Wiley, and Spencer Brown all back there. Zach Bache, Chris Stroop, Kevin Coleman, all one or more laps, and everybody back from their one or more laps down currently. But you never know how many more before they get caution and a wave around. And the Bryans take the front row this time. Burkhardt on the inside, Mansfield on the outside. Drew Warren has had quite a race after an almost putting Jim Cook in the wall early. A very close call. They have managed to keep their trucks up near the front, and Drew Warren, haven't talked about him a ton. He started in 17th. He's gotten up to third and just kind of stayed there. If he gets back a little bit, he just hops back up in the top 3. He is not worried about it at all. He is sending it. Michael Peters in 4th, newcomer to the league. Definitely putting on a great show tonight. Of course, Justin Glover in 5th, Patrick Coluccio 6th, DJ the Iceman Kenner 7th. Michael Whiting has quietly worked his way up to 8th. Derek Turner in 9th, and Dakota Wilson in 10th. They are going to restart with 8 laps to go. Don't forget, immediately after this, we will switch over very quickly to watch Riley's at Auto Club. It'll be just as exciting. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. 8 to go at the line. Brian Mansfield quickly hops out front. Burkhardt right behind him. And Drew Warren has some help now on that outside line. Still 2 wide. Nope, Dakota Wilson looking 3 wide. Up to the high side for Dakota. Almost getting the wall on corner entry. But Dakota is sending it to the front, and Michael Whiting is right behind him to give him a hand. They've got Edmund Jones in line too. Drew Warren drifts up high, and Justin Glover shoots the gap. Will they go 4 wide into turn 1? Oh! DJ Kenner involved. Several cars involved again, and caution is out one more time. As it looks like DJ Kenner got a little bit of a push there. Oh, it looks like Jim Cook came up, caught the back corner of Drew Warren, and then chaos ensued. Brian Mansfield, Brian Burkhardt managing to avoid the chaos thus far. Now 6 laps to go. A lot of cars on pit road. Doug McLaughlin, Jim Cook, Brandon McLaughlin, Michael Whiting, Spencer Brown, and DJ Kenner. Drew Warren might be out. And what a finish this might turn out to be, the way that they are racing right now. Mansfield out front, Burkhart second, Glover now up to third, Dakota Wilson now up to fifth, Edmund Jones sixth, Patrick Coluccio seventh, Jason Wiley is eighth, ninth is Spencer Brown, DJ Kenner after repairs comes out in 10th, Jim Cook 11th, Sean Crooks is 12th, Chris Stroop is back to the lead lap, as is Zach Beisch. And Dakota Wilson's got quite the fan club going tonight. The 00 of Kevin Coleman in front of the leader. He's going to be waved around here in a moment. He'll get one of his 2 laps back here. All right, waved around, cars stacked back up side by side. $16 cars showing on the lead. Wait a minute. Nope, 15 cars showing on the lead lap at the moment. Michael Whiting and Zach Beisch still showing 1 lap down. Mansfield on the inside, Burkhart on the outside. Pace car about to drop off. Green flag is in the air. It'll be 3 to go at the line. And they're 4 wide at the back of the field as some lap cars settle in, some damaged cars. Burkhart goes down. They're 2 wrecking down to the infield. Mansfield saves it. They both manage to save it. Get back up on track cleanly. But that may have ended Brian Mansfield's race. We'll have to see if he can get back up to speed. He has still got the draft. Meanwhile, Burkhart up front will get 2 to go this time. And they're going to be 3 wide as they go off into turn number 1 with Dakota Wilson looking to the outside. And a lot of banging. A lot of door banging as they come in. Dakota settles down just a little bit. The 95 of Spencer Brown trying to hold Dakota back, but here they come into turn 3. 3 wide. Dakota's got help now. He's got Iceman DJ Kenner pushing him. Meanwhile, Burkhart way out front. Oh, they're wrecking into the Triumph. Oh, caution. And they will go to a 3 wide checker. Dakota Wilson caught in that incident. Let's see what happened. Let's take another look. Looked like somebody came up as Dakota was trying to slide down and didn't know the 25 was already to his rear quarter panel. And Dakota driving it in reverse, spins it, and gets it going the right way again. And Dakota Wilson may be out. He is towed. As Burkhart and Coluccio wait for the pace car to catch back up. And we will probably have to forego the Outlaw post-race interviews tonight because we'll have to very quickly hop over to pick up the Fast and Fun Variety Series. we'll make sure we talk to the winner tomorrow night during the broadcast for the Dirt Series. I think this one ran a lot longer than any of these guys expected for sure. They are stacking back up for the restart. Green, white, checkered. Dakota, you definitely gave a show, buddy. Hey, Dakota, please let him know we're not going to be able to do post-race interviews. I literally have to start the next broadcast in like a minute. So try and get the green, white, checkered in and pick up that race as it starts. I don't think anybody expected this one to go as long as it did. Dakota is back out on track, however, a couple of laps down. Patrick Coluccio and Brian Burkhart will lead them down. Pace car ducking off. Green flag. Off into turn number 1. And DJ the Iceman Kenner already back up into second after being caught several times. And Garrett asking, will Wilson make it to the front again? I imagine he'll give us a show if he's with the pack. He is not with the pack, though. 3 wide into turn number 3. Oh, we've got another wreck. No caution. They are going to race to the finish. They are out of green, white, checkers. This is it, and it's going to be Patrick Coluccio pulling off the win. Brian Burkhart finishes second, and Jim Cook finishes third. Now, please stick around for some more chaos as the Fast and Fun boys take to Auto Club in the Rileys. My apologies for not being able to get the Outlaw interviews done. Stick around, though. We will be right back.